Hello, Keese. Ganondorf is the final boss in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and I stood in front of him for more than an hour with gloom resistance, level 3 defense, and lots of healing just so I can learn all his attacks and how to deal with them. Today, we'll learn all his attack patterns and how to defeat him. Obviously, ending spoilers are coming up, but I hope you check out some other videos if you decide to leave. I won't talk too much about preparing for him, just make sure you have the strongest weapons. Having the Master Sword will help a lot. Having a few shields would also be helpful. Bows also aren't necessary, but they add some extra damage, especially a multi-shot bow. And you may get gloom, so cooking some Sundelions to heal with gloom can also help. And personally, I would choose attack up as your boost. Without getting into details, there's a fight prior to fighting Ganon, but I won't be talking about that. I'll strictly be talking about the Ganondorf fight. As a side note, placing a travel medallion right before you fall is a good idea. Making a way down here can be quite a journey. Now for Ganondorf. Ganondorf has 3 phases. First, it's just him. Second, it's him with really long health bar and clones. And third, it's him without the clones, but flying red balls. And I guess there's kind of a 4th phase, but there's not much to that. I'll talk about that phase anyway though, because there are some random facts about that last part. In phase 1, Ganondorf's health is 2,500. And because you're in the depths, remember that every hit will cause gloom. Ganon will start with one-handed sword, and he can change to a 2-handed club or a spear. We'll learn about the attack patterns for each weapon, but first there's some general information. No matter which weapon he has, if you're far away, there's a chance he will use the bow. And when he does, he will shoot 3 red balls that will remove one of Link's hearts if hit. And those hearts are unrecoverable. And they're strong enough to break a new Hylian shield in 2 hits. You can hit these balls back at Ganon if you hit them with the Master Sword. If you try to hit them with any other weapon, they will break. Or you can just run from them. Also, going far away from Ganon may cause him to change weapons, so if there's a weapon you don't want him to use, just try running far away. You can also shoot him in the face for a critical hit and short stun, but he'll eventually smack the arrows away. Any zoning machine you make, he'll destroy it. They don't do that much damage anyway. But honestly, if you have a multi-shot bow, you can just spam this. Now for his weapon attacks. Of course, you can parry all the attacks, but I'm going to be mostly speaking about how to dodge and flurry rush Ganondorf. With the sword, he'll do a horizontal swing attack, and a charged spinning attack that spreads gloom on the ground. Not all the time, but sometimes if you dodge a regular horizontal attack, he may follow it with a second and third horizontal swing. Both attacks, he will pull the sword back to show you he's gonna do it, so you can do a back dodge for flurry rush. And if you're a little far away, he'll do a running attack. He'll chase you until he's close, and then he'll either do a horizontal or vertical swing. You can tell which attack he'll do based on how he's holding the sword while running. If he's holding the sword to the side, prepare to jump back for a flurry rush. And if he's holding it above his head, prepare to jump sideways for a flurry rush. And he seems to alternate between these 2 attacks. Now for when he's holding a spear, he'll mostly do stabby attacks. You'll mostly be dodging sideways for flurry rushes. First, he has a standard thrust attack, but it's hard to read. But he'll flex before he strikes, and he strikes fast. He also has a stabbing attack that Link does with the spear. He'll spin the spear behind him before doing it. He also has a charged spear attack. He'll charge at you 3 times while leaving a line of gloom behind. You can flurry rush it by jumping sideways, or just scoot sideways to avoid it. You'll mostly be dodging sideways with a flurry or simply to dodge, so the best thing to do is keep going sideways, hesitate for a second, and move sideways again, and once you see a move, you can jump sideways for a flurry rush. And if you miss the flurry, at least you're going sideways and he'll miss you either way. And for these attacks, there's a chance he'll do a horizontal attack if you're on Ganondorf's side. You can do a backflip to flurry rush this. And finally, his double-handed club. He'll do a jumping pound attack with a little splash damage. He can do it from far away, just jump sideways to dodge and flurry rush. He also has a horizontal swing that you can backflip from to dodge or flurry rush. If you're holding the shield, he'll try to kick it. He also has a charge attack that he'll send 3 wavy gloom projectiles at you. They're the same as the 3 balls from the bow. They have high damage and can be sent back if you hit them with the Master Sword. And finally, he has another charged ground pound attack. This is where he'll slam the ground and there'll be gloom everywhere. During this charge, there will be an updraft, so you can ride it. You can also shoot him in the face to cancel him. No matter which weapon he has, if he misses you and you don't flurry, and you try to attack him, he will dodge your attack. This is actually something that might help because he will give away which attack he will do. If he dodges with the sword, he'll hold the sword in the direction that he will attack after he dodges. If he has a spear, it'll be a stabby attack. If it's a club, it'll be a horizontal attack. You can then flurry rush these attacks. And don't forget, you can shoot him every so often with a bow, and even better, a multi-shot bow with a strong fused item. After all his health is gone, he'll start phase 2. For phase 2, it's the same as phase 1, except he'll have 5,000 health, and he'll create 4 clones that each have 900 health. The attacks are the same, you just have to survive the clones. And for each temple that you've done prior to fighting Ganon, the sages that you've unlocked will eventually join you. They'll basically take care of the clones for you, so you can focus on the main Ganondorf. I would do the same thing as phase 1, and just focus on the main Ganondorf. If you feel like you're getting crowded, just run to the other side. The main one will probably shoot you with a bow, but then he'll come running at you. And of course, shooting him every so often with a bow again would be nice. He will eventually go into phase 3 after he has half the health. And if you aren't good in math, that means he has 2,500 health. This time, there's no clones, no sages, but more red balls. The red balls come in when he switches weapons. When he switches to a spear, he'll send 3 balls of gloom at you. Again, you can attack them with the Master Sword to send them back at him, or you can run from them. But best to run in the direction that they're curving from. He'll then do a charging spear attack, but then switch back to a sword. If he switches to a club, he'll slam and send 2 waves of multiple glooms. If you step back, you can just walk around them, or of course just hit them with the Master Sword. He'll then do this jumping vertical attack. He'll then switch back to a sword. And if he switches to a bow, he'll surround you with red balls. You can walk around them, or you can do a spinning attack with the Master Sword to send them all back, which feels cool. Just don't forget that he still has his 3 shots after that. And if you use another weapon, it'll break. This phase might actually be the easiest because he dodges everything, even a shield attack, and even if you try to flurry rush him. So, after you attempt to flurry rush him, remember that he'll tell you which way he's about to attack. And you can dodge again for a flurry rush that will be successful. Or you can attack him to force him to dodge, then read which way he will attack you, then dodge again for a flurry rush. He won't dodge this flurry rush. And of course, don't forget that you can use your bows. For the next section, I found some useless facts. Ending spoilers ahead, but if you're already this far, why do I bother warning? Ganondorf will become a dragon, and you can basically jump off Zelda and attack those eyeball looking things on his back with the Master Sword. This won't necessarily help, but you can break the red balls by hitting them. Also, you cannot make it to the surface, so don't worry about Zelda not catching you. And there is a barrier that if you fly too far away, you can't pass it. Either way, after the eyeball things are gone, there will be a cool blood moon, and you have to attack the tear on the dragon's head. Then you have to do the final attack. No matter how long you wait, Link will stay there, so just do it. And finally, you have to catch Zelda, and you can keep tricking Zelda if you want, but she and you will fall forever until you do it. Congrats, you beat the game. If you like these random facts, you might like this video. Thank you so much for watching, thumbs up if you liked the video, and I hope you consider subscribing or at least checking out the channel for more Zelda content, and I'll see you next time!